Hi, everyone.
Hello. How are you guys? Hope everybody had a great weekend, had a great Mother's Day weekend. Hope everybody's had a great Monday. I got her right here. Give everybody a few moments to get on. Hey, Arlene. Yes. Sorry. I got your DM to send everything to your husband. And then Tara will send out the information on the status correction. Sorry about that.
Julie, I have your name down for a realtor in Colorado. I don't know if I should answer that.
What's up, Terry?
How's your day going? The enemy is on attack. Today has not been a good day, but it's okay. It'll get better.
Yeah, guys, there'll be the Telegram link will be put back in here to kind of help get some more people into the group. I don't have any room on my computer to download Telegram, or I'd help put some links out. For some reason, I cannot copy the link on my cell phone. Every time I go to copy it, it shuts down my cell phone or shuts down the app. And then I have to go back in. So I try to put people into the groups, but it will not let me. So Tara had the same problem for about 2 or 3 weeks. And she got it on her computer, so it's a little easier for her to do it now. But the computer I use does not have enough space. I'm trying to free up some space.
Keeping honest, has anyone gone through the process and successfully submitted a 1099-A or remittance coupon? Absolutely. There's been many testimonies. Go watch some of our past lives. The last one, actually, someone had a testimony of purchasing 2 vehicles. A lot of people have had things paid off, including us. So,
and Tristan, early, yeah, no luck sending the coupons to creditors. Might try the IRS. We've been fighting it too. You're going to get, some people are going to get through, some people aren't. You just can't give up. You got to keep going. That's why you have to do the conditional acceptance. You have to act on your conditional acceptance if you've already done it. So right now, Tara and I are trying to act on the conditional acceptance because we have not had time to even take care of our own stuff that we've been working on since we've been working on everybody else's stuff.
All right, so let's go in prayer and ask the Lord to come into our meeting, and then we'll go over a few things that I want to announce, and then we'll just do a Q&A tonight and some education on Wednesday. We'll do another Q&A on Thursday to try to do that on Telegram. I think that that's helpful for the admins. But let's go and pray together. Dear Heavenly Father, we come to you in prayer tonight. We just thank you for this time together, and we ask that you would rebuke the enemy that is trying to come in and steal the joy that I have going on today. And I ask that you would speak to Drew and I and through us as we communicate with our friends and like-minded family on here. And we just ask that you would help us to hear what you would have us to hear tonight. In Jesus' name, amen. Okay, so with that being said, I want to explain some things that I'm feeling right now in the most respectful way possible, because I'm a little bit frustrated. I have, for the most part, we have all good people within our group, and we're all like-minded on the same page, and everyone knows that this is going to take time. It's not a fast, quick thing unless you're a financial institution. I don't care what anyone says. We've gone through everyone that we know, every organization. We've talked to lenders. We've talked to everyone. Unless you're a financial institution, the money's not coming in 72 hours, at least not to us. Okay.
That was actually confirmed by 2 people on Friday.
Secondly, if you disrespect me in a text message, I really feel the need to put you to the back of my stack, because we are doing this out of the goodness of our hearts. We do not have money coming in. We have put our jobs and our lives on hold to help the people. And the amount of disrespect that I have received over Mother's Day weekend and before, and the demands that I have as if this is my full-time career and that I'm doing this and getting paid to do this, is unbelievable. Okay, and so if you want to say, where's my paperwork? Why can't I get through to you? And disrespectful things when we're doing the best that we can, you need to find another trustee, because I don't want to work with you if you can't respect our time, and if you cannot respect the fact that we're not getting paid to do this, and we have our livelihood as well. Okay, so if that's not for you, please move on to another trustee, because we are here to help. We're not miracle workers. We're Tara and Drew, Jarrett Realty Investors. We're not a financial institution. We have no money coming in, and we're trying to help as many people as we can, especially the ones in super need, along with every one of us who want to have more for our lives. I'm just very overwhelmed at the amount of pressure that we have received by people wanting to know. And I understand that we can't get right back to you, but you need to understand that we have a lot of people we're helping, and we're doing the best we can. So
if y'all only knew what the process was that we have to do. There was a guy that stopped by here Saturday to drop off a bunch of slips for us to mail stuff off with. And he came in and he was standing there, and I was working on some stuff, and he was like, is this what you have to do? There's no way I could deal with this and try to talk to people. Anybody that wants a phone call from me right now that keeps saying, I need 5 minutes, I need 5 minutes. Your 5 minutes is not 5 minutes. It always ends up being 15, 20, 30 minutes. And I can either make a choice. I can call everybody back and not do anybody else's paperwork, or I can do your guys' paperwork and get it filed and stop making unnecessary phone calls. I mean, that's just where I've had to draw the line on some things.
So please understand, for us, we have to sustain our lives as well. We've got bills that we have to take care of. We're still fighting things too. We are not debt-free by all means. We have things that we have to get taken care of. We've put 6 weeks of our lives literally on hold We put 6 weeks of our jobs on hold to help the people. And the funds are not going to come in right away. So I understand that you all think that once we get paid, oh, we're going to be fine. And that's okay. That's the truth. But right now, we're not. Right now, we have to still work and still focus on what we have to do. So I hope that all of you that are on here understand that. But this is my kind of word to you, that if you can't respect that for some reason and you can't understand that we're doing the best that we can, then I really think that we're probably not going to be the trustee for you, and you're going to need to find someone that can, be on your time schedule, because we're doing the best we can.
And the other thing is that I've put out in the chat for people to stop asking the admins where I am in the process, That's not their job. That's not what they're there to do. They're there to help you guys figure out, learn this process, not to constantly get bombarded by questions of where you are in the process. So, that's not for them to take on. Last time, we're going to tell you guys this on the realtors. If I have another realtor call me wanting proof of funds, I'm just going to pull your stuff and put it on hold, because we don't have proof of funds. I'm tired of trying to explain to a realtor that does not understand this process what's going on, when we have said, do not do this unless you have a way to put your earnest money down and provide proof of funds. There's no way. We don't have proof of funds for you guys until your funds show up. That slows us down too. We got real estate agents calling because somebody's gone out and tried to put a house under contract and they want proof of funds. And they're told to call us. Same way with going to a dealership. If you go to a dealership, don't have them call me asking for your funds.
We don't have any.
We don't have any until we get them.
Okay, so those are our announcements for tonight. We'll go in and ask questions and try to answer what we can on here. And then on Wednesday night, I got all of your requests from the poll last week on what you want to hear more about. So I'm working on that, and hopefully we'll have a great live for you on Wednesday night. Sorry that we had to be a little bit, whatever you want to call our introduction, but for all of you friends out there that are with us and on board with us and are supporting us and are understanding of us, then thank you so much. We have a lot of friends in here that do get it. So it's not to all of you. It's to a few of you. Okay, let's answer some questions and see what...
Yeah, there's a document that shows the steps. It is in the Telegram, or you might have to ask the admins for it. There's actually a 26-page document that shows all the steps, how to fill everything out. It answers basic questions. So hopefully by the end of this week, the website that we have that we're trying to get built will be up and running. And when it's up and running, you will be able to go in and create your own account in the website. You will be able to upload your documents into the website, and it will have all of the Q&As. You can type in a question and it'll have an answer. If there's not an answer for your question, you'll submit a ticket and we'll get you the answer. So it's going to mainstream a lot of this going forward, so that your documents are in even a more secure place than they are on Telegram or sending to emails, since these hackers or these spammers are trying to, any way they can, to get y'all's money. I mean, that's
the scammers are a big deal. They apparently have sent out postcards or something with my name on it, with a phone number that's not mine, and apparently very freakishly have recorded or something my voice to make it sound like me on a voicemail. We're not asking for money. We're not giving out loans. Again, we don't, I also wanted to tell you if you are canceling to go with a different trustee and you're asking for us to refund you, which a lot of people are, and that's fine. We have no problem. If you want to pull your stuff and go with another trustee, that's fine. If you're asking for a refund and we filed your OID, we're not giving out refunds because we're having to turn around and spend more money to now void it online. Because we file the OID first online from the money that you send. As soon as we get it, we file it. And then we have to turn around when you cancel and void it online. So we're not going to be doing refunds. That can be a donation if there's anything left, because we're about to set up a donation link through Give, Send, Go to help those that are homeless living in vehicles with their kids so that their kids don't get taken away by CPS. So we have bigger goals. And if you want to contribute to that and, go to a different trustee, that's fine. But we're not going to be giving refunds.
Mike, do we have separate accounts and how are we keeping up with everything? We actually have 4 businesses. They're all set up with escrow accounts for our real estate stuff. So the way our stuff is set up, we will label each, when we start receiving funds based on the account number that's been created on the 1099-A and the OID that we submit, that account number will be associated with the funds. When they come in, that's how we'll label them. That's how we'll keep up with everybody's stuff. So that way we can keep up with it. That way we have a spreadsheet with account numbers. So
that, and we have our business trust set up that they'll be going through escrow under our business trust. So your stuff will be protected through that. Yes, we do status correction. Someone said, do you help with status correction? Yes, we do. If you want us to do the status correction for you, it's $200 for anyone 21 and over. If you have kids under the age of majority, which is 21 for Auburn paperwork, then we throw in the baby deed for your kids without any extra charge. So that's just really for our time and to get everything to you. If you are in Texas, I can do a virtual notary because I'm a notary in Texas. So it'll come with that. And then I set up a phone call, Zoom or whatever to go over how you sign and how you record everything. There's about 19 to 20 documents that we provide. They're not all of them will you find online. There's a lot of them that have been put together through a lot of different things to protect those of us who have professional licenses and things like that. So we don't offer all of the things that we offer. Some of the taxes stuff, but we offer a lot of stuff that's unique that we provide. So if you want to know about status correction, you can email us at jarrettrealtyinvestors@gmail.com and put status correction in the subject line, and I will drop you a link of everything that we provide and an intake sheet that you would need to complete so that I have all the information on birth and stuff. You don't have to send me your birth certificate. I don't need your birth certificate. I just need the information on the intake sheet. So
Deborah Joyce Wilson, I'll have to check and make sure. I can't tell you that right off the top of my head if they were correct. But if we had a problem, we'd let you know.
Felicia Robinson, if you got an expired link, that's a Telegram link. We have our Telegram link expires after so long to keep the scammers out of it and to keep all of you from sharing and possibly sharing with someone that's trying to scam us. So our link expires shortly after we send it. So if it expires, just send me another email and I'll try to get to it, as soon as I can. I know that we're not all on the computer at the same time, so it makes it a little difficult, but we're doing that to make it secure for you and for us. So
Irvin Middleton, any progress on thoughts on going after the postal workers?
Yes.
And the reporting agencies. So
I'm working on the reporting agencies right now.
She's definitely working on the reporting agencies.
I've been working on that for my own personal benefit today too, because I really want to get the credit agencies taken care of, for all of our benefits. So,
and it's kind of funny. It just depends on where I drop mail off at. Even when I'm mailing some of the things off that I'm sending in the free mail system, just from our own personal stuff, seeing that we're now carrying y'all stuff to Austin a couple of times a week and dropping that off with them in their Dropbox. But it all depends. I can go into town and drop them off and they'll get mailed one day, but then I can go back 2 days later and they return them to the house.
It depends on the worker. It depends on who's there, I think.
So we all need to kind of work to go after them, like any post office that refuses to send your stuff accordingly.
You'll send, Darius, if you need to send money to us to file your OID, you'll go ahead and do that when you send your paperwork, and we'll go ahead and get it e-filed. Even if your paperwork doesn't get sent out or dropped off at the Treasury right then, we're going to go ahead and file the OIDs. We do everything electronic first.
Polyface, yeah. I mean, if the jeweler will take the 1099-A, go for it. See what they say. Tell them what they need to fill out, how they're going to get paid.
Mother, if you've received, if you've gotten something that says received from us on Telegram or on email, that just means we received your paperwork. Whenever your paperwork is processed, you're going to get something that says paperwork processed in the subject line. That's how I do it every time. And then I'll let you know that your paperwork's been completely and your file is complete. So if you haven't gotten a paperwork process, file is complete and moved to the next phase of Telegram, you're still pending. Not answering trustee questions right now because we're still working on things with that process behind the scenes to make sure that what we share is correct information. I'm not going to go into trustee fees and if that's taxable and all that right now because, I'm just not going to, I've already said I'm not going to train trustees until I know all of the process and all of our processes are exactly as they need to be. Yes, you'll pay the trustee fee of 5% using the 1099-A. That's why we're not taking any money up front. And if you're asked for any money up front from us, other than a status correction or an OID filing, if we're not asking for those two things, if you haven't asked for a status correction or an OID filing, no one should be asking you for money.
I'll put the email address in the chat, guys. I can do it again. We can pin it up top.
Do understand if anybody, we're going to get a gift and go, like I said, for people that are homeless, living in cars with their kids. If anyone wants to donate to that cause, you can always send it Venmo, Cash App, or Zelle, PayPal, whatever's easy for you. If you wanted to donate, and you're not obligated to do that. If you want to help with that, you can always, donate a couple of dollars if you have it to help that cause. And then once our website is up, which will hopefully be this week or next week, for sure by next week, hopefully, we'll have the Give, Send, Go link in there. You're going to email us at Jarrett Realty Investors at gmail.com. Jarrett Realty Investors at gmail.com. There's no underscore. There's no punctuation in our email. It's all just Jarrett Realty Investors at gmail.com, all one word.
So you can do it one of two ways, Mr. Wilkes. If your friend says, I have a seller who is a close friend of mine and already signed the contract with a refundable deposit, should I do the 1099 online and reach out to you guys after? You can do it one of two ways. You can do the 1099A and give it to your friend and let him file it, since he is actually the one getting the funds for the house, since it's a for sale by owner. Or you can fill it out, the online version, or even the hard copy version, and you can send it to us to be your trustee. Either way. So, but still, you would fill out your 1099A the same way, guys, in that situation.
Let me write that down.
Okay. Arlene, we can put an example of what to put on a coupon in the Telegram chat group. There's some different ways to do it. So we'll put a couple of different examples into the chat group so you guys can find it. I'll just have to find one that I can write on.
Joshua Felder, if you want the process and you want the ebook, send me an email with ebook in the subject line, and I'll send you the ebook so you can follow along. It's very self-explanatory to have that. So if you don't know that, if any of you on here do not know the process, send me an email at jarrettrealtyinvestors@gmail.com, and I'll drop you the ebook so that you can follow that to do your filing. We have realtors in Atlanta, but we're not, we don't have our group set up yet. So that's coming, but let's see. We're not going to refer any realtors until we have funds come in, and I have that group getting set up in Telegram. Hopefully by next week we'll have that going so that when funds do come in, we'll have a network to be able to refer to. But as of right now, I'm not referring to anyone right now because we don't have funds in.
If you accepted the 1099A as for your business, if somebody paid you with it, you'll need to look at how the OID and all the stuff is supposed to be filled out.
You can follow Patrick Devine, Chris Hauser. There's a lot of people out there that you can follow.
I've talked to Chris a lot, several different times, and listened to a lot of his stuff. I'm still on the fence about the 56. That's y'all aren't giving us the ability to become your trustee and the fiduciary responsibility for the rest of your lives. So I don't see the point of the 56.
Our agreement says that we're in a fiduciary duty to represent as a trustee for the trust funds that we're getting for what you filed. We did talk to Chris also about how he says when you're paying off a bill that you always use the treasury versus using the straw man name. You know, if it's working, which it is for a lot of people, just keep doing it. So
And that's what he just said. If it's working that way, then now if you're going to do the hard copy,
you always the treasury.
You're going to do the treasury as the lender. You're the borrower. You're going to submit the hard copy to them with your wedding signature on the back of it. But if you're doing online, it's working online, doing it as you, the lender, the company, the borrower.
Okay, let's see. Oh, sorry. How did I move your chair?
I don't know. You just moved me. She's trying to push me out of the picture, guys.
How can we actually don't need mail slips. I'm sorry, but we don't need mail. We've got so many mail slips now because of all of you that supported us and sent them to us. We have now got 2 rooms full of them. So we're good for a little bit. If you want to hang on to them, I'll let you know when we run out. But since we're hand delivering to the Treasury or to the IRS building now, to the processing center, we aren't going through them as much. So,
Sam Gordine, how do I get on the roster? I don't know if that's for as a realtor or what you're trying to get on.
If you're trying to get on as a realtor, you'll just have to
just kind of specify in here, and I'll find it as we go through what you're looking to do.
That, or you can email me and say, get on the realtor roster, the realtor list. If you're recommending a realtor to be on our realtor group, and I will only put realtors on the realtor list that have contacted me personally to be on the list. If you're recommending for them, I'm not adding them to the group. I want to hear directly from them that they want to be in the group before I add them.
Mr. Middleton, how does the Treasury collect from the courts and banks? Well, when you do the lien, you're actually giving the Treasury the ability to collect, but they actually turn it over to the IRS to collect. So the IRS does the collection on the liens. So you're contracting with the Treasury, but the Treasury gives it to the IRS. Remember, the IRS is the collection agency. That's all they are. They're a collection company. They're not anything else, and they're nothing to be scared of.
Just go down.
Okay. Yeah, if you're getting your birth certificate authenticated, you're going to need the long version. That's going to be your certificate of live birth. That's going to be, or your certified birth certificate. So you will need the long version. Short version doesn't have all the information on it that you're needing.
We ought to pay. Richie, we're not mailing anymore, so you don't have to worry about postage. We're taking it directly to the processing center.
So we're still waiting on our funds to come in too, guys. So
April 21st. We're working on that batch, like that set of time now. So please give us time. We're just now getting to those. You don't have to do the status correction to utilize the 1099-A. If you have a social security number, you have a trust set up. You have to know who you are, though. If you don't know the straw man versus a beneficiary, you need to study before you do this process.
No, you do not have to be a secured party creditor to use the 1099-A. We are all secured party creditors in one way or another. I mean, you're the one they're getting the funds from, guys. It's your trust.
A 1099 NEC is totally different than a 1099-A.
That's what I get when I do contract work.
Yeah, you don't need to. 1099 NEC is a totally different. You're going to need to go study the 1099-A process before making any moves with that.
Yes, Kevin, if you've sent an email stating that you need the ebook, we will get that out to you.
Yeah, that one's done. That one's done.
Okay. Timothy Oglesby, yours is done. Tara says she remembers the name.
Yeah, I would appreciate if everyone would use the Jarrett Realty Investors at gmail.com and not use my realtor. Email address. I need that for my work. I don't need that for the 1099-A process. I've got to be able to separate work on the real estate side from the 1099-A process that we're doing. Those are totally different, separate things. So real estate, my Tara Jarrett Realtor account needs to really be for, I didn't know it was going to blow up like this when I put it out at first. But since it has, I would appreciate you using the Jarrett Realty Investors at gmail.com. Let's see. We've already answered that. If there are realtors in the group that want to be a part of our Telegram group and study group and networking group, then they can contact me and I'll put them on the list. But if you're referring them to me, I'm not going to reach out.
If do we still review the 1099-A before sending it? If the admins have not done it, I'll make sure that they're correct. Tara makes sure they're correct. Some of them we're getting back that don't have a social in it, or the numbers are flipped. So yeah, we have to review them, because if I send it off without looking at it, nobody's going to get their funds. You're just going to be sitting there waiting. But yeah, it takes time. That's the part of the process. It's the time of reviewing everything.
The status correction process is putting your sand on the land and soil jurisdiction, basically, and on paper recognizing the fraud that was done against you, and claiming yourself back to the land and soil jurisdiction versus maritime, and recording it into the de facto or unincorporated county or conservative county that is corporated, so that you have all of that status paperwork on file. Let's see. Yes, John Blackstar. Yes, I did receive your stuff.
Swam Pratt 36. I'll go in and look and see if I can find your DM to get you the agreement.
Not answering trustee questions.
I checked the Telegram several times through the day, but what y'all don't understand is there's 400 DMs, and I can only answer so many while I'm trying to do your paperwork. And then by the time I go back, even after printing somebody's stuff and trying to file something, I can wipe out 15 DMs and go back and there's 25 more, because, and it's all the same questions. That's the problem. It's all the, do you have my, what's the status? What's the status? Do you know, did you get this? So it just trying to catch up the DMs. I check them every day and I go through as many as I can.
Mm. Not answering that either. I'm trying to skip over the questions that we've answered numerous times so that y'all don't all get bored with us on here, because I want y'all to be able to learn something too while we're here and not answer the same thing. So
Kristen Robertson, I'll have to check and see what happened, why she can't post. Hopefully she's not in the wrong.
A lot of people that are saying that they can't post anything or can't talk within the group, you're either in the public channel of ours or you are in the wrong group, because the wrong group is not answering people and they're not allowing you to speak in there because they don't want everyone saying this is the scam group. So you're not allowed to speak in there. So if you have any, if you're in a group that has Jarrett _ or anywhere _ realty, that is not us. Someone sent me something this morning and said that they were trying to get a loan and they were asking them questions about the loan process and why we weren't taking it out of the 1099A funds. They never got a response back from the people. They were in the wrong group. If you're in a group that's Jarrett _ or any punctuation within the name, it's not us. And the only way that here's the deal. If you have your Telegram set on settings to where anyone can pull you into another channel, then those scammers are pulling you into the channel. You're not even getting in there on your own. They're pulling you into it. We're not pulling people into our channel. You have to request to be in our channel. So.
No, you do not have to have the birth certificate authenticated before your status correction process. That's just another added layer after you've recorded all your paperwork.
Yes, we know that Chris Hauser mentioned us last week in his Q&A. I heard it. Yes, we talked to him, or Drew talks to him via text a lot.
Corey, so changing your status doesn't affect anything on your SESTA. And honestly, I don't know all the stuff on the special deposit with the birth certificate or certified birth certificate. There are some other guys that are helping us in the admin group that are very knowledgeable. They could DM you and give you a little bit more so it's not confusing everybody in the chat. So maybe reach out to one of the admins. We've got some admins that have a lot of knowledge in that area, and they can get you pointed in that direction.
Okay. Frosty's too. Where does the beneficiary signature come from? You have to know who you are. You have to know who you are. You have to learn how to sign the beneficiary signature and act as a beneficiary. It's your name, dash, middle name, colon, last name, copyrighted beneficiary. That's how we sign it. Once we do our status correction, that's you become the beneficiary, and everything that you do, you sign everything with a beneficiary signature. Because right now you're co-signing for the straw man. If you didn't know that, you're co-signing for the straw man, but you should be signing as a beneficiary always.
If you're filing online or using the hard copy, the Treasury is the lender and you are the borrower using your beneficiary name.
John Wesley, it could be 60 business days. We said that at the beginning. We haven't gotten funds in. When we get them, we'll let you know. I know I have you on our realtor list. So I'm not sure.
Been a month. Okay.
Hopefully, I don't know which part you're talking about for the realtor or for your paperwork, but it could be up to 60. Even I've heard even up to 90 days. So it's out of our hands. We can't control when we get the funds. We can just let you know when we get them. We're on anything after the 20th. We're working on stuff after the 20th. We still have people to respond to, though, to let you know your paperwork's been processed before that. So, but that's where we are now, working on the 20th and after.
Yeah, I've already done the clearing of the folders to free up some space. I didn't realize that Telegram actually kept everything that you clicked on. So I freed up 78.9 gigabytes, but it still won't let me click on the link to copy it.
The only way to get the invite to the Telegram is to request it by email. We have to keep the scammers out, so right now that's the only way you can get in. And I'm sorry it's difficult, but we're going to protect our channel for everybody involved. So
if you've written your 1099-A and you've got that much funds left over to buy another house, you can only buy one house, guys. One house
per year, per trust.
Per year, per trust. So, you know, I've seen some that have come in that you're going to be looking for a house that's a lot bigger than $500,000 because you've written it for $2 million. 1.5 million is a lot of difference. Can't. So
if you are asking about anything after April 20th, I just answered that we're not, we're working on those now, and we're not going to answer status updates right now because that's what we're working on. So anything after the 20th is still in process unless you've heard from me otherwise.
I don't know if there's a request line in the Telegram group. I'm not very good with Telegram.
What was I gonna do?
Yeah.
That.
The layman. Nobody's getting. I mean, very few people. Can't say nobody, but very few people are getting the 1099-As that they've ordered. Tara and I have still not received any of our 1099-As that we've ordered.
And we ordered them in like January.
Yeah, December, January. So we still haven't received any of those.
That's why e-file is faster. E-file is going to be faster for you. And then if you wanted to do a wedding signature after the fact, you can correct it once the funds come in. I wouldn't do it to confuse everyone. I would just correct it after you receive the funds to have your wedding signature on file.
Samantha, the best thing to do before using the 1099-A is just understand the process. Just learn the process. Not really understand, learn it. And then you can use the 1099-A.
Oh, for our friends that sent us this.
Yes.
From Amazon. Thank you so much. Thank you so much.
Money Boy Films. Actually, that is how we got started trying to do some stuff. We started trying to offer status correction back last like September, October, just helping people to understand or to fix their status that didn't really get it. So Tara started trying to do that. That's nothing new that she's been working on. She just decided that she would let you guys know if anybody's had any questions about it.
Well, I know some people are charging $1,000 and more. So, I mean, there has to be a little bit of a charge because it's a lot of paperwork and a lot of work involved. It's very tedious to look at all that stuff. So, that's the reason we charge. But I know some people charge a lot of money, and I just...
If you're a widow, do you have access to your spouse's trust? That's something we're still trying to work on, to see if you can access a loved one's trust after they have passed away.
Go and look at this. Any of you, there's a lot of knowledgeable people here, a lot of like-minded people, a lot of smart people that we have in our group. Go look at the Social Security Administration forms, and there's a couple of forms on there that are to request information on deceased loved ones. So, you know, just kind of go on there and look under the Social Security Administration's forms and see if you can help me figure that out. That's good. Do you have access to your spouse's account if you're a widow? Well, if you're receiving any kind of benefits from your spouse, that's where they're coming from. They're coming from your spouse's trust. Each spouse, one house per year per married couple or per each spouse? Each person has a trust. One house, one car per year per trust.
Yes, Art Rollins, you can use an older 1099-A form. They said that because they're short on them, you could use an older year. Just have to, that they will correct it at the Treasury.
Margaret, if you could send me an email asking for address in the subject line. You don't even have to say anything. If y'all want status correction, telegram, address, ebook, process, agreement, any of that, just put that name of what you need in the subject line. You don't even have to, I don't want to read a bunch of stuff. So just put that in the subject line and I'll drop you what you need into the link or to a attachment.
Bella, yes, the housing prices are not just crazy in South Florida. They're crazy everywhere. So you don't need to worry about it, you know, $1 million or more, and you don't need to worry about being audited.
I was just reading that.
David Hollinsworth, we can look at that. We're still trying to do
what about generating a QR code? We have someone, yeah, we have someone working on a QR code system for us, and that's probably how it's going to work in our Telegram and in our, possibly in our website down the road. So we'll see.
If you've got earnest money, go put it down. That's where the earnest money is going to come from until your funds are in. It's coming out of your pocket right now.
Yeah, unless the funds are in.
Unless the funds are in.
Eddie, you're new here, so you need to know how to get started. Just send an email and say process, please. And I will send you the ebook and the agreement so you'll have it.
The 1099-A is for acquisition, which is the same as purchasing. It's not just to discharge debt. That's the abandonment side of it.
Grounded Dolphin, you need to go to the Social Security Administration, like the head person within that office. You don't, and I don't recommend cashing it out at 18 years old, because why not let it build so that they can use it later on? But that's personal preference. I can't tell you what to do. You need to go to the higher up at the Social Security Administration, because the low people on the totem pole don't know what to do. Corporation, you may need an enforcement letter. Dorsey's resource. We don't want to go into small claims court. If you fall under common law under the land and soil jurisdiction, one word in a courtroom can perjure you. So we really recommend doing a conditional acceptance and putting a lien, because in common law, you lien, you don't sue.
Next live will be Wednesday at 7
Central Time.
I'll send Holly Smith. I'll send the agreement. I guess I didn't click on it.
The ebook.
I sent the ebook.
Oh,
you need the ebook. My bad. I'll send the ebook. Laura Walker, when filling out the 1099-A, do I add all the mortgage, bills, renovations all in one lump sum? If so, do I put in the description box paying off debt? And you can put it all, if it's to pay your current bills, then yes. And then once we receive the funds, you're going to give us a breakdown of where everything's got to go.
Ballpark of how much a pure trust costs to set up. That depends on who you're hiring to set it up, to be honest. I can't answer that. If you're asking for a copy of the ebook on here, I can't keep up. So you're going to have to email me. I can't keep up with everyone that's asking for one on here. Gary Freeman, whenever you get your copy B back physically in the mail, I would consider that an approval, because you will be getting a copy B back in the mail from the Treasury. Jose, yes, you can pay your house off with the method that we provide. If you don't want to deal with it yourself, you can just send us the 1099-A and hire us to get the funds in for you. or use us as your trustee to get the fund in, and then we'll pay it directly to the mortgage company.
CD Mesker, there is no hesitation or uncertainty in receiving your paperwork. The fact that we have about 2,500 emails, 400 DMs, can't keep up with everybody's stuff and who they are. So if you think there's something like that, then maybe we're not the trustee for you.
Where is it?
So I don't have any anxiety over the paperwork. I have the disrespect and the rudeness and the constantly wanting to know where you are in the process.
You're further than you would have been had we not stepped up. That's right. What I can say.
Because there were no trustees until we decided to do this.
So you're further than where you would have been had we not come on board.
So I know that Midwest has some trustees, and I know that there's probably some other ones, and you guys are more than welcome. But I don't have any anxiety over your email. Not at all.
Where's the code?
No.
That's the kind of stuff that makes you heated. Just saying. Please don't screenshot. Hey, we need everything in PDF scanned format for audit purposes. We need everything to be legible. We don't need a screenshot, because when you print the screenshot, it comes out real dark ink and the whole page is like a picture. It doesn't look good. Please send it in PDF format, because if you send it in a picture format, a JPEG, I'm going to send it back and tell you I need it in PDF format. So just, if you can save me the step of having to do that, that would be great. Yeah, it just automatic. If you filed 1099-A online and got an account number, it automatically generates an account number for you. If you're doing a paper form, you have to make up your own account number, one that you can kind of remember. Let's see.
Jarrett Phillips. And she's some information on your trust.
I think so, but honestly, I'll have to go and look, because I think I saw it, but I didn't get to dive deep into what you sent. But I wrote it down, so thank you. I'll look at after we're done here.
No, don't send the conditional acceptance first. If they haven't responded to you with your 1099-A I would give them 10 business days after it's been accepted. You might need to follow up with them to make sure that they actually accepted it or that they received it. So you might want to make a copy of it, print it out, and submit that with a letter stating that, here's your 1099-A to pay off your debt, and then give them 10 days. And then at that point, yes, then you would want to do the conditional acceptance.
Hey, Roy Johnson, Jr., I see your message. Please, if you'll email me, we can talk. Since you're a realtor and have something that you need, realtor to realtor, we can work on that. If you'll give me an email, and just put a reminder in the subject line. So I have your name written down though, so I'll know.
If your coupon was declined but not sent back, then I think it's time you probably need to either go ahead and file a 1099-A online and submit that to them, or just go ahead and do a conditional acceptance. I think it's time to start leaning these companies, guys. I think it's time to, conditionally accept them and then lien them so that they are aware that, you know, we know what we're talking about.
Sorry, I was looking at something. But here's what I was looking for. I wanted to make sure I was right on the code. If someone refuses to accept your negotiable instrument that you've marked as final payment under UCC 3-603, that shows that it's legally paid in full because they didn't send it back to you.
They dishonored you.
So it says that when a tender of payment to a person entitled to enforce the instrument is made, the effect of the tender is governed by the principles of law that apply to a simple contract. If the tender payment is refused, there is discharge of liability for the payment of debt. The debt is now transferred to the one who refuses to accept the instrument. That's UCC 3-603. I have that in my conditional acceptance that I send, along with several other UCC 3 codes and 15 USC 1692 A through K, lots of them.
The only thing I know, Terry, on the if you're trying to get a vehicle from a dealership, you're gonna have to make sure there's 0 miles on it to get the MSO. There's some other guys in the Telegram group that actually have a little more information on that. I haven't jumped off into that one yet either. Laura, yeah. The credit card company can choose to close the account. You can send them a letter stating that you didn't request that your account be closed. You sent them a form of payment. They did not accept it. They did not send it back, so you would need to conditionally accept them. Or let them close it, keep fighting, get it paid off, and then in a couple of months, they're going to send you another credit card request in the mail stating that, hey, you've been pre-approved for $15,000 limit on a credit card. You know, then you're going to open that if you really want to and buy whatever and use the trust to pay it off. So I've heard housers say that, like, why would you care if they closed it? You know, you fight it, get it paid off, and then in a couple of months, they're going to offer you another credit card.
See, like this example, I spoke to a new apartment complex owner in my area. I told him I was a beneficiary of a trust. Will they rent an apartment that the trust pays for? He said that as long as the money is available. They have no idea what you're talking about. So that's just another example of we have to let them know that, so you're refusing payment because you can't refuse payment of a negotiable instrument, and that's when you conditionally accept them. But you've got to get them to enter into a fiduciary duty with you. So if you have a new apartment complex and you fill out a credit, what do you call it? An application, and they run your credit, they've entered into a fiduciary duty. So go ahead and fill out the credit application and let them enter a fiduciary duty, and then you can conditionally accept them on what they're not accepting for payment. And guys, we might make it sound easy. It's not easy. This process is difficult for all of us. It's a fight. It's a fight for all of us because no one understands. at all. No one.
You're better off to send Sylvia Sutton. You're better off to send it to the CEO at the corporate office, not to the payment processing department. Guys, the CEO is who you're going to send everything to. Certified mail, return receipt, so that you can show that they contracted with you. You need that proof. Do not send it to the processing center. Do not send it to the CFO. Send it to the person that's in charge of the whole company. If you want to send it to the CFO, include the CEO and the CFO. Then put a lien on both of them if they don't follow their who would be the CEO of the child support? Texas is the Attorney General.
Mm-hmm.
So
it's the Attorney General in every state.
It might be the Attorney General in every state.
Yeah. They're the ones that handle child support. Barbara Greer, have the dealer that if they want to get into our dealership network, have them reach out to me, because I'm going to do a dealership network just like I'm doing a realtor network. And I'm trying to launch both of those by next week. So, but I don't want to put a referral dealer in there. I want the dealer to come and say, I want to learn the process and be in network with you. I don't. So have them reach out to me if they really want to be a part of it. Because I don't want anyone requesting for someone that doesn't have a clue what we're talking about.
Chris V, if you use a coupon method to pay off your current mortgage, no, that's not trust fraud. They actually are the trustee and have a fiduciary duty to you because you gave them your information when you got your mortgage. So they would actually send it in. They're sending it in anyway, and getting paid from your trust, even with your payment.
Let's see.
First, you have to do the conditional acceptance to start the lien process. Once they have dishonored your conditional acceptance, you have to give them the allotted time, whatever you put in there, whether it's 5 business days, 10 business days.
I'm going to do a class on conditional acceptance. The key to the conditional acceptance, in my opinion, is the wording in there that gives they're by not responding or proving evidence of not having reasons why they aren't accepting your negotiable instrument. In my conditional acceptance, it's worded to where they're giving you automatic power of attorney over them to lien them. So they're basically giving you permission to lien them in the conditional acceptance that I send, which protects you when you're doing this process of liening, because they've now granted you permission to lien them. So I'm going to do a class over conditional acceptances because I think that there's a lot of people that are more visual than they are hearing it. So, but I'm going to do that not on a live. I'm going to do that as an educational video so that I can show some things, and then you can go and watch it when you want to, because that's going to be a note-taking thing. How will you receive the online 1099-A after it's been filed? They'll send you copy B once it's accepted, and you'll download the PDF version and send it to us. And then you'll get a hard copy once they approve it in the mail from the Treasury.
The coupon form the same as a remittance. Chosen few, yes, that's the same. Remittance, coupon, voucher, from the statement.
Oh, yeah. I can't wait to see what happens with leaning the school board. You'll have to keep us all updated on that. There's some people asking questions on here. You can't be shaky. Can't be shaky. You shouldn't, if you know your rights as versus a beneficiary versus a straw man, if you know your rights, you know your UCC codes and your USC codes, and you've studied those, there should be no reason why you're questioning the 1099-A process. And people that are saying, have you seen this? Have you seen this? People are going to jail for this, and people saying that Jarrett's this on some people's sites are saying that people have been going to jail for doing this. No, people have gone to jail. I've read the court documents. People have gone to jail because they were filing tax returns. Okay, we're not filing tax returns. We're filing with the Treasury to get paid from the trust on your behalf as a trustee, not directly to us. We're not filing tax returns. Totally different thing. We're not filing a 1040, which is what the other people did.
There's examples in the Telegram how to fill out the 1099-A. Yes, Chris V. If it's just board members and you have a president of the board, go ahead and direct it to the president of the board. But if you know all the board members, I would put all the board members on there too. Hold all of them accountable. Mm-hmm. If they do not, then you have every one of them that you can add into the lien.
And here's another thing that I put in my conditional acceptance that I just started putting in there probably a few weeks ago when I did the letter. The letter that I have on Telegram is the CEO letter is different than the conditional acceptance. I just seem to add to it all the time. And I have found, and a lot of people within our group has found that they're actually getting responses because I put that in my conditional acceptance. I have it that if anyone responds to me other than the CEO that I address the mail to, or acting CEO, in case that CEO that I think is there is no longer there, I put the CEO or acting CEO. If anyone other than them responds to me, I have permission to lien. I have power of attorney to lien them and permission to lien them for 4 different 18 USC codes for tampering with the mail, which is also imprisonment per the codes. So I put that into my conditional acceptance too, and have now, I think a lot of people are starting to see responses that we weren't seeing before for putting them on alert with that. The examples of my letter are in Telegram, but the conditional acceptance, I perfected it even more today because I was working on some things that we're doing. So I perfected it and put a lot more stuff in there even today. So
you don't have to put United States Department of the Treasury. You can just put United States Treasury.
Your parents have to pay off their mortgage. You can't do it for them because it's in their Social Security trust name. So they have to pay off their own mortgage. We just have to educate them on the process. And I know that that's frustrating because you want to help your family out, and they don't want to listen to you sometimes, and they think that this isn't going to work, or what are you into, whatever the thought process is, depending on your family. But they have to be the ones to do it. They have to be the ones to wake up and do it.
AKC in Miracle Valley, how can I get on Telegram? They've got a link in the chat that they've been putting out, so you guys can get onto the Telegram. So, and yes, Princess Bear, there is a tax fraud paper going around that talks about this, that has nothing to do with the 1099A. They used it. They filed some other documents, 1040 and some other things. And yes, they got into trouble.
They were filing tax returns. There are people that have gotten in trouble doing this because they're trying to act as their own trustee. That's a real problem too. You have to have a trustee. You can't act as your own trustee and a beneficiary at the same time. Also remember that just like any truth that's told, there's scare tactics, and there's people and trolls out there that don't want this to work. They don't want to see you succeed in this process. So keep that in mind too. And also keep in mind the ones that are selling their paperwork for a high dollar amount want you to think that this is the only way that you can go through this process with the 1099A. They're going to tell you that you have to do your status correction first. Because it's taking money away from them. Chris Hauser says that he's going to get hated on for saying that, and we probably will too. But if we have a trust, we all have a social security number, we can access our trust from a beneficiary standpoint, not from a trustee standpoint. So be careful of who your scare tactics are coming from.
We have examples of filling out the 1099A in the Telegram group. We don't show any examples of the OID. You can look at Chris Hauser's stuff. You can look at Patrick Devine.
Someone said, am I creating a lawyer network? If I have enough lawyers that are understanding that they are working in the bar, just like I'm having to work with the National Association of Realtors, if they want to come together and work with us, I would love to have them on board. If they are awake to what we're doing and they're willing to help the people, then yes, I will form a network for attorneys and CPAs, because I think that those professionals can be great resources, not only for us and our group here, but for trustees going forward. Because let's face it, if you're a bar attorney and you're a CPA, with integrity and morals, you can't really do the job that you were doing before. So, and not ethically anyway, you're going to have to represent people from a constitutional standpoint and not from a maritime admiralty standpoint anymore. And you're going to have to, as a CPA, understand that I can't file taxes or recommend that they file taxes the way they were before if they're not federal employees. So these people are going to take a personal hit on their income or earnings, we say in common law, earnings, not income. But I feel like they would be great resources to have as trustees because they have the expertise. And if they're awake to what we're doing and everything, they could be a great resource for all of us to have on board.
Gold Fortune, up to what value can the car and the house be per year? You need to be reasonable. I mean, you think about it, if you're getting a $15 million house, are you going to be able to pay the power bill? Are you going to be able to maintain the place? So think about the stuff that you're trying to acquire using this process. So, you know, if you can maintain it and you have the means and the earnings to take care of a place like that, then
we're going to do what's in the best interest of the beneficiary. If you come to me with a 14 and 15 bedroom house and you know, you're wanting to live in Beverly Hills and, you know, Calabasas or wherever, and you don't have the family, or you're going from rags to riches overnight. I mean, come on, that's a red flag. Let's be reasonable in the process. You don't want your greediness to ruin it for everyone. And if you do, move on, please.
No, you do not have to order the birth certificate before doing the status correction. I mean, you can order them while you're doing it. I think ours took, what, 3 days to come in?
Mm-hmm.
So.
Hey, all, special appearance challenge jurisdiction success. Here we have a success story. 2 weeks later, not a peep, and a conditional acceptance coming if they do, but they know that. So absolutely success, another success story. People say, oh, we don't hear success stories. We don't hear. Now we have people that are actually giving testimony. So the processes work. They work. Yeah, thanks for sharing that. We appreciate it when you share testimonies.
We're still filling out the 1040V per Chris Hauser's method. Yeah, if you're getting tuition and they're sending you a statement and it has a detachable coupon or voucher or remittance, yeah, you can use that for the tuition. Mm-hmm. And Jar Jar made a point. There are a lot of people out there to watch, so you can actually learn this process. Chris Hauser, Patrick Devine, they named several.
James C. Lovett, Radiant Clone.
I mean, watch some of Midwest stuff. There's all kinds of individuals out there that, you know, can educate. Sharon, they can just email us at Jarrett Realty Investors, JarrettRealtyInvestors@gmail.com. I have it pinned in the chat, guys. Kiori Knight, is it better to use the coupon or 1099A? They both work the same way.
I'll tell you what I've been doing on my 1099As. In the description box, I've been putting payoff in full per HAR 192 of 1933 and Public Law 73-10. I've been putting that in the description with the, you know, when I'm paying off stuff, to see if that helps. I mean, we're all in this together. It's you know, we're just trying to see what works. Sometimes it works, sometimes it doesn't. You just keep on. So
if you just want to repair and remodel your home, just calculate how much that's going to cost. And then if you're using a trustee, if you're using us as trustees, you're going to add the 5% trustee fee. And then you're going to submit the 1099A to us. So you want to make sure you calculate a little extra for any kind of inflation. Or
you also want to make sure, let me just say this, I don't care who you go and use as a trustee. If it's not us, you're welcome to go and use whoever you want to. We're still all in this together, and I hope it works for you. Be careful who you use as a trustee, though, because they need to understand the straw man versus the beneficiary standpoint. They need to understand the process. They need to be able to answer if they get audited. There's a lot of things that are involved. So just kind of be careful. who you're going to for your trustee. Make sure it's someone that, you know, is trustworthy and that knows the process. If I contact a realtor regarding a property and make a cash offer and then use you as my trustee with a 1099-A, will that work? It will whenever funds come in. It will not right now. If you go and make a cash offer and tell them that you're using us and they want proof of funds, I'm not going to give them proof of funds. I don't have them. So just please wait until funds are in unless you have funds already. And then I'll be glad to help you with a real estate deal if you have funds already.
I just put in the chat what she was talking about that she's been putting in the description box on the 1099-A. If that's actually what.
And yes, there's a lot of people seeing results from the 1099-A, especially with paying off. This is a grassroots. We just now started. I think it's just now where you have a trustee that has stepped up. And I think we were the first ones to step up and say that we would help people to be able to purchase homes. So this is a whole new process to purchase a home through a trustee. But as far as paying off mortgages and debts and things like that, it has, there's a lot of testimonies. So
absolutely. David Straight's group does not condone this. Because
we're saying you don't have to do a status correction.
That's why they're not condoning it, because you don't have to have a status correction, guys. If you know who you are, it is your trust. David Straight, and they want you to have a status correction. They think that's the only way you can access the trust, but it's not.
Yeah, because people have been paying off bills and everything without having a status correction. Do I think it's wise to have one? Yes, I do. Personally, yes, I do. But you don't have to. And some people don't have the funds to change their status right now. And you don't have to. And you don't have to. You just have to know who you are.
See, look, guys, somebody in here just said that they filed as a trustee on 2/23 and found out today the beneficiary received their copy B. They're on a bit of a delay, but it's moving along. So we need, you guys that have sent hard copies, 2/23. I mean, that's 4 months, guys. Almost 3 months. So yeah, it's going to take time.
When cashing a check, I would always use your beneficiary name to do anything. Anytime you sign your name from now going forward, I would use your beneficiary name, signature.
Once you acquire a home and you're trying to protect yourself, the land under the home, above, air, all that, you're going to want to put a land patent or an immutable title on the property. So, once it's acquired and paid in full and you get the actual deed and title back to the home, then you're going to file a land patent or an immutable title, and you're going to make sure that it's completely protected. That protects everything below the surface, everything above the surface.
I haven't heard anything about Anna, if she said anything about us in the 1099-A process, but what I know about the vendor card is that I could see where this would conflict with what her statement is that they're going to issue vendor cards, which basically says that we're going to give you X amount of money per month on the vendor card, and it's coming from your trust. And they're going to limit how much you're going to get, just like they do with the Social Security Administration right now. Versus us being able to access our trust without being limited to what we can have per month. I mean, you can't go in and access your trust without a trustee. But you can have a trustee and go in and figure out how much your utilities are going to cost for the year, how much your phone bill is going to be for the year. You can guesstimate on the expenses that you have, and a trustee can pay those off without a vendor card. So if there's any negative comments towards us about the vendor card process, that's why. Because we know a way to access your trust from a trustee beneficiary perspective to use it more freely. $8888 for payment is faster. $1199 is already on file. We have both, but we send a $8888 for payment with each packet that we send in.
Right now, they're using the 2021 1099A. 2022 starts October 1st. So beneficiary signature is first name hyphen middle name colon last name comma beneficiary.
That, and you're gonna really need to understand the difference in a beneficiary and the straw man and how to use that beneficiary. UCC 1-308, all rights reserved without prejudice, and all of that. Okay, we're going to take a few more questions and then we're going to call it a night. Since we're at an hour and a half, I want you all to be able to spend time with your family too before bedtime. So, Jake, Stu, they need to, I'm in contact with the landlord who wants to know how to receive funds for rent payments. So what steps do landlords need to take on their end? They need to file the OID, 1040B and 1096.
If you got a copy of it, just take it to them. Tell them this is what they need to fill out. The 1099 OID, the 1096, 1040B.
Yeah, we can work on a UCC class. We'll go over different sections of the UCC, and we can do classes on that if you want to.
Yes, if your parents are retired, they can still use their trust.
That's how they're getting retirement benefits from their trust. I would figure out what, for your utility payments, I would figure out how much you usually spend per year, because your 1099A has to be 600 or more. So I would figure out about how much you use per year, and even if it's a little bit over, and put that in for the amount that you're filing for the utility company.
Laura Walker, if you wanted to charge everything on a credit card, yeah, I mean, you could do that, charge everything on a credit card and then pay it off using the coupon method or the remittance method, if they will accept it. That's the thing. You got to think here, guys. Some of these CEOs, some of these companies, they're not accepting it. You have to fight.
Our beneficiary name, all of us write in cursive. As long as it's not in all caps and just the first initial of each name is in caps, but not the full name. But I did learn that the reason that they stopped teaching cursive, handwriting in school for a reason. They didn't want us to be able to know how to do some things with their cursive handwriting. We can go into that at a later time, but if you notice, kids nowadays don't do cursive handwriting. They all print because they don't teach it in school anymore.
Yeah, the 20%, once it's released to you guys, it's free for you to do with what you want.
Unless something changes with that, that's what we have, are going by right now. Okay. So whenever the funds come in, I can connect you with a realtor in that area so that you have a like-minded realtor that understands what you've done, how you've gotten your funds, the process. Not that they have to talk through anything. It's just good to connect with like-minded people. And why not work with someone and support someone who is in our movement? So that's why I want to create the network so that we can refer you to a like-minded person that is in our movement, that is on the same page with us, helping to move humanity forward.
I mean, we'll have some realtors in Alabama.
And first of all, let me just say that if any funds were to have come in over the weekend, which they haven't, they wouldn't post to our account until midnight tonight anyway, because banks don't post any credits until midnight on Monday night. So we wouldn't even know if there were any funds that came in today until midnight tonight. And if any funds come in, I will definitely give that testimony. Like, you will hear me shout out probably before any live. I will probably come on when we get our first funds in, and I will do a whole testimony of we've got some and let you know, just in an announcement. But if you don't hear that announcement, we haven't gotten them in, because I'll be shouting from the rooftops when we get it.
The
pros and cons.
The pros of the e-filing is it's faster. You're going to get your 1099A is going to already be filed. That way, once you get your copy B, then it's just our stuff that has to go. The only thing that cannot be done on the e-filing is putting a wet ink signature on the back of the 1099A. So, if you wanted to monetize it later on and put your wet ink signature on the back of it and send it to us, when you have the hard copy form, you can send it to us and then we'll file it as a correction, but we're not going to file it until your funds are in, because we don't want to mess up the process. There have been people that have gone in to do a correction and have had to basically void out everything and start all over. And then it takes forever to get it processed. So.
Yes, Julio, when your funds come in, it's going to come in with your account number that we have, the account number that they have created for you on the e-file, or however you do it, whatever account number you put in, that's what it's coming in under.
Every folder has your account numbers for all of your 1099As written on the outside, so I can find it.
Yeah, we'll know who it's coming in for. We're going to know anyway, because they're sending us back the forms 8888 with the stamp on it showing that. We've already received some of those. So, okay. Walter McDowell.
No, you don't.
I question that.
Question who you're listening to. All right, guys. I'm going to go ahead and end it.
All right. Yeah, let's close out in prayer, and then we'll see you back on Wednesday night at 7:00. And we will definitely be weeding out the disrespect. I can just confirm that again. Dear Heavenly Father, we come to you in prayer. Thank you so much for this time together. We pray that you would help us to have freedom soon, help those funds to come in and show us the light that you have so wanted us to see for so long. Lord Jesus, I know that you are watching over us and protecting us and guiding us through this process. And I pray for each and every one of us that we will see freedom from you very soon. Please be with us as we go about our week and protect each and every one of us in this movement. In Jesus' name, amen. Good night, everyone. Thanks for joining.
Good night.